This podcast includes explicit language and sensitive topics that some may find offensive.
All views expressed belong to the individual speaking and not a representation of any entity that we have been, am now, or will be affiliated with. It's your chance to back out now.
That being said,
If not, enjoy the show.
Previously on the Black Man Misunderstood.
So even though I'm in college, I'm on a different path. I'm still rugged. I'm still on campus acting like I ain't got no sense. I'm learning things I'm supposed to learn in college, but I'm still laying people out.
Black man, misunderstood.
It's your boy Mike B.
In the neighborhood therapist.
Welcome back to the Black Man Misunderstood. Here we discuss topics about the black man that others are afraid to speak on. I'm your host, Mike B, and this is episode 4 of season 4. Adonis vs. Damian, Survivor's Guilt. Joining me as always, my brother.
Justice Payne Tyson, the neighborhood therapist. What up with it?
Yes. And we're back with another banger for you guys. So, bro, what's up with you, man?
All right, man. Good money. I can't complain.
All right. So, I know this is your topic, sir. So I'm gonna just let you kick us off, man.
First of all, this was your topic. I just happen to specialize in the topic. First of all,
because true.
Because they want to understand where you was going with this, so I'm going to ask you that too. So I'm gonna make it clear to the listeners. This is Mike B's topic. I just happen to specialize in survivor's guilt / survivor's remorse. Okay, that is like no BS. That is what I do in therapy. So I specialize in marriage and couples. Specialize in survivor's guilt, survivor's remorse, and because of this podcast, I now specialize in Black Man Misunderstood. That's legit a therapy now, like for real. People in Houston be like, "Yo, I want to get that Black Man Misunderstood lesson and do this." So it's like it's a beautiful thing to see, bro. So I don't know if you knew that, Mike, but it's Black Man Misunderstood is not just a show; it's turned into a movement for real, bro. So it's heavy. It's heavy.
I'm with you. I feel you, bro. But go ahead, man. Go in.
Survivor's guilt, right? So it can be used interchangeably with survivor's remorse. All of this is my opinion. Let me preface by saying this. Everything I'm gonna say on here, I'm not coming at it from a therapist's point of view. I might trickle it in here and there, but this is mostly going to be me in podcast form, me in show form. Cool? That's my disclaimer. All right. So everybody else's definition of survivor's guilt, based off of Justice Payne Tyson. I feel like they feel it's a mental condition that occurs when a person believes that they did something wrong by surviving a traumatic event. So think of soldiers when they're in a bunker together and then, a bomb or something goes off and mostly everybody in their platoon dies, but they're the only one that survives. So they'll go through feelings of depression, despair. They'll feel like, hey, I'm not supposed to be here. Why am I the one that survived? What happened to my people, my squad? He had a daughter. I don't even have no kids. Like, I wish he could live for his daughter, that type of thing, right? They often can get PTSD. Some of these people become delusional. I mean, the list goes on and on. They just really, it's something that's not talked about enough. And it's very personal to me. And that's that one side of survivor's guilt. I think most people think of that when they think of survivor's guilt. There is a second part to it we do not talk about. The higher ups to be don't talk about because it don't affect them. Growing up in an impoverished community, growing up in the hood, as I call it, you can develop survivor's guilt. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, what you talking about? Let me put you on game if you don't really understand what I'm talking about. So me and Mike B grew up in the hood, right? When we left the hood, I'm not speaking for Mike B, but I'm giving you a little play by play. When you leave the hood, for me, for sure, I know that there's this feeling, right? When you're looking at your people that's still in the hood and you're like, damn, like, such and such struggling or, hey, such and such doing good. They still in the hood. Maybe I shouldn't have left, right? That's that one part of it. You got the other
Mm-hmm.
part of it, which is, damn, if bro would have had the same opportunity to leave, like, would he be in a better place? Because like he's struggling right now. It's basically you feeling like you owe it to people back where you from or where you came from to give back to them, or you feel guilty for being successful at what you're doing because the people that you love or the people that you grew up around or whatever that situation is from your past is bothering you, and it's similar. It mirrors the low key the PTSD of being in war, or being a victim of sexual assault too, because that can have survivor's guilt as well. Human trafficking. Why am I the one that survived that human trafficking event? What happened to the rest of everybody else? That like survivor's guilt is so complex. It can apply to so many things, man. And I don't think it get talked about enough. Just my personal opinion. But today, the one we're going to focus on, if I'm correct, Mike, the one we're going to focus on is moving from a place or leaving a situation and feeling guilty for that. The success, the beauty, the love of it, and the things that you're going through. Talk.
Yes. And thank you for correcting me in the beginning, of course. Yeah, I did make this topic. But I thought about this topic specifically after watching Creed 3, hence the title Adonis versus Damian, because I felt as though their story is relatable to a lot of our story, period, and even to us personally. And do we actually, like you said, do we actually talk about it? In my honest opinion, I don't believe we talk about it enough. I think when people make it or their story gets shared, people will ask certain questions about it, and it's like quick answers, and they don't move on to the next thing because they're on a time crunch instead of actually diving in and into that conversation and actually unpacking some of those underlying issues or other pieces of the puzzle that people don't always hear. So
That's
yeah,
real.
yeah.
So let's jump straight into it, man. Do you feel you currently have survivor's guilt?
No, I honestly don't believe I do now. There was definitely a point in time where I thought I definitely did. And I can say one of those times is specifically when I went away for college. Because, like, I went to school in Rhode Island. Most people know that. You may have seen the school. I mentioned it a couple of times. I ain't going to mention it again right now. No point. Yeah, I can go look it up. I can find my information. It's no here, no there. But anyway, and when it came time for graduation time and people looking for jobs and everything, I interviewed with several companies up in Rhode Island, up in the New England area, um, that I could have easily got the job if I wanted to go there. I could have easily got the job, but I always felt like I owed it to one, my family, and two, my city to come back and give my time, effort to help people move up. So yeah, that survivor guilt hit me because in all honesty, I could have went straight out of school and got a job up north and never been back home.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely can say, yeah, I had survivor guilt, and even still, like there was a point in time like I moved back, but I wasn't even living in Patterson. I lived in Teaneck, but everything I did was back in our hometown. Church, volunteering. The only thing that I really didn't have there was a job, but the job was so close to the town. I was still there. Um,
You
so
did that based off of obligation? You did that based off of you feeling obligated to do that?
I believe so. I believe so. I believe
Mm-hmm.
so. I know I purposely looked for jobs in the area. I could have probably easily expanded my search and probably found the job even quicker, but I focus specifically on that region, Jersey, for job for job work. So yeah, it's like I have to be there and I have to do what I was like I was already doing things when I was there, right? As a teenager, growing up in the town. And so I'm like, oh, all my peoples are still there, my family's still there, church family's still there. I have to go back and give back. Cause growing up, there was two things you heard. You always heard people either staying in Patterson or people leaving Patterson. Those were always the two things. It was like, yo, you need to stay, need to help. We need more young people like you.
Mm-hmm.
Always said that. Or it was like, ain't nothing here for me. I'm out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Those are always the two dynamics that you heard. So yeah, I definitely had survivor's guilt, but I don't have it currently.
Okay.
What about you, my brother?
It's not as high. It's still there though. It's higher than most, for sure. I think my story is well documented. The part that most people know anyway is I left at 18, 19, one of those.
Yeah, one of those. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was tough, man. That was tough because all I saw was me doing the Patterson thing and giving back to the city, even if that meant going an illegal route or a legal route. That's all I saw was Patterson, which is weird for me when I look back on my life because as much as people know that I'm from Patterson, I never really, if you ask who's who of Patterson, right? I'm talking about people that, you feel like are popular in Patterson,
Mm-hmm.
They would be like, all right, where you know Just from? Most of them would say football, school, he had a couple of street fights or some random place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody goes from the club at Masonic Temple. Nobody goes this place right here that's popular or Wild Bull, rest in peace to that place. You know what I mean? Like nobody,
Facts.
real talk. Nobody
Facts.
says those things. You know why?
Why?
Because I was in Inglewood, I was in Brooklyn, I was in Harlem.
Oh, that's true.
I was like moving around. I'm known in different areas, not Patterson. Like I'm known in Patterson, but like I'm not known for some of the things that I'm known for in these other places. That's why in season 1, that's what I used to tell you. I'm like, yo, bro, I'm low key a mercenary, bro. Like the people that know what it's about, they know what it's about. Like I can go on Talk that, and certain people will be like, "Oh, just what up, Boom Room," and the popular people be like, "How you know, bro? You know that's the shooter." I'm like, "Yeah," and then I'm quiet. They're like, "Yo, what the?" I've seen it with times when me and you will walk somewhere, and you'd be like, "Bro, that's the boogeyman. You just dapped up the boogeyman, bro. The boogeyman, cool, bro." You know what I mean? So that was my environment. That's how I grew up. That's the polar difference between me and Mike. Like that's how that was.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got dragged, I'm gonna say dragged into the decision of leaving Patterson, right?
Mm.
I was like, bro, I'm gonna go do this because I was told to go do this. Honestly, because it was between coming to Texas or going to Virginia. But I also knew me. I said, bro, if I go to Virginia Union University, come on, bro. Come on, bro. I know me, bro. I'm ignorant, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's too many beautiful women out there. I'm ignorant, bro. It's a wrap. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it was that. So now let me talk about when I got to Texas, bro. Texas was a culture shock. I'm looking back. I'm like, man, this ain't Patterson. This ain't even New Jersey. This is rural. You know what I mean? The majority of the culture was one culture. It wasn't even like a melting pot. What we used to. That threw me off. I'm like, I can't. This. It's like one culture had a chokehold on the whole city. I'm like, bro, I ain't never seen nothing like this before in my life. I'm not used to this. This is awkward. This is weird. Then racism was more prevalent in Texas, but it was like closeted. In Jersey, they tell you to your face, like, you know what I mean?
I had a conversation like that the other day too.
Bro, if you don't like me, you're gonna tell me that right then and there, and we good. All right, cool. Keep moving. Let's keep it business. In Texas, they laugh, haha, king in your face. As soon as you walk off, you N-word this, monkey this, porch this, and I'm just like, bro, what is this place? So I had a hard time adjusting. I was still in Jersey mode, so I got into a lot of fights, got into a lot of trouble, if you can call it trouble, because I never really got caught. But you know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of no, real talk. So it was a lot of that. And then to do that and then start to morph into this, I guess, business person, I got acquainted with a lot of people that was like, hey, you're a low income person. You need to look into grants. You need to look into this and this and that. So I started getting educated about that stuff. And then I don't know when this shit happened. Shift. I said shift. I'm not cursing.
Yeah, I heard what you said. You good?
But a big shift came, and I just became like super educated. Started reading certain books. Started paying attention to the rooms I was in. I started being around judges, and then somehow overnight, what's up?
I'm gonna correct you on your statement. I think you've always been intelligent. I think what you removed was the ignorance of not understanding your surroundings. I think that's what you did.
To my in Texas.
Period. Yeah.
Mm.
I don't think that it's not that you weren't intelligent. I think you removed the ignorance of understanding your surroundings.
Mm. Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie to you, that was tough.
Yeah.
That was tough because it was like I was trying to break. It seemed like I was being fake in Texas, if that makes sense. And I was fighting for my manhood type thing, like, oh, oh, y'all don't know about me, let me show you type thing. It was like, and as I was getting older, I was like, bro, that's so stupid, bro. Like, what exactly are you fighting about, bro? Like, because, you know what I mean? Like, flag football, or he did something wrong in the classroom, so it's like, all right, don't worry about it. We ain't gonna do this in front of the professor. I'm gonna catch you. What was the point? Mike, I went through a whole semester and a half of just like being a villain, bro.
I believe it. I believe it. Because I know you. I know you.
What's the point of that, bro? That's so corny. Like, I'm looking back and I'm like, bro, that's trash, bro. Like, who leaves the hood for a better life and still bring the hood with them and do all that hood like that? I'm looking back, I'm like, bro, I'm disappointed in you. In myself, I'm like, that's disappointing, bro. But the man I am today really, really causes the survivor guilt, because as I'm telling you the story of that, right? Think Adonis, Damian, right? I'm telling you the story of how thorough that was, right? And then to get to this point now where I own successful companies, give a shout out. We see you.
Juju. Yeah, my dog done walked into the shot.
When you think about the things I'm doing in my life now, man, own a home, married, all the things, right? The things that people be like, oh, bro, you doing it, man. We proud of you. Da, da, da. Every time I hear that, I be like, man, I'm not doing enough, man. Like, because to me, doing enough is being able to like go back and help somebody that I know got a great business mindset, but they don't got the resources.
That right there.
Bro, this
right there.
how you do it. All right, let's press a button. And then only thing I want from it is like, all right, bro, I want 1% from it, because it's still got to be business, right? I still got to teach you business. But hey, bro, I'm gonna give you the startup funds. You're gonna do this. That's why I feel like I ain't quite make it yet. That's the tint of survivor's guilt. It's not more so like, oh, I made it out, you didn't no more. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna bring up his name, but I am gonna say that part of me passed away with our brother. Because when he went down, I couldn't understand it. And I'm not gonna go no deeper than that. There were conversations that we had while he was alive. So when everything went down, I was really, really confused. I was confused, angry. I was just like,
I think in all honesty, I think we all were, because we were like, where did this come from? Yeah. I remember those last couple conversations we had. We were all talking about leveling up and building. Yep.
Yeah, it was very confusing. So I was just like, I don't understand. So then my survivor's guilt went super higher because of his son. Because I was, you know what I mean? Like I had to, he gave me specific steps to do in in his absence for his son. So I had to go into that gear. But as I'm looking at his son, I'm like, bro, you supposed to be that right there. That was when my survivor guilt was at its absolute highest because I'm watching his son take steps and laugh, and I'm just like, I couldn't. It was too much. I'm talking about, you saw me, bro. I was flying to Jersey. I'm chilling. I'm like, yo, this is too much.
Yeah.
That was survivor's guilt to the highest of high. But once I finally started to get through that, it was because of his son. I went through the worst of it because of being around the son, and I got through it because of his son. Because his son would start to verbalize, "Hey, Uncle Just, can you help me with my homework?" Yeah, I got you. I got you. Yeah, like, can you help me with my math homework? No. Ask your mama. I'm not good at math.
Of course, that makes sense. That makes sense. I get that.
But like having those moments, right?
Yeah.
It just started to lower my survivor's guilt, and I had to get to a point, which is where I'm going into next. Because you asked me if I had survivor's guilt. Yes, it's still there, but there are ways to get through it.
Yeah.
There are ways to push through, and that's. I'll get into that a little later, but let me ask you this about the survivor's guilt when you had it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you had it because you were a good person at heart, or do you feel like you were manipulated by the people around you in order to have that? Like, you all night, come back, check on us, blah, blah, blah. You know how that type of stuff.
So I think it was a little bit of both. Because yes, I am. Most people would know me. I have, when it comes to certain intentions, if people don't know me because because of my foundation. First of all, Christian. I'm a Jamaican, and I'm family oriented, right? And with me being Jamaican, I'm very proud of myself. Really, you really can't tell me I can't do something, and I'm not gonna be in your face and be like, "That's what you think." I'm gonna do it anyway. The only person that really doubts myself is myself sometimes, and that's internally. I don't show people that outside usually, unless you're really close to me. So me being a good person at heart is like, I always had a heart to help others, period. So that's always going to be a part of me no matter where I go, even when I'm here now in Tampa. But I can definitely tell you the manipulation was there with certain people, certain times, and certain conversations, because it's not that they asked me to come back. No, it's how they say it to you. It'd be like, "Oh, congratulations, Mike. Don't go off and be a big shot, and don't remember the little people."
Mm-hmm.
Mike, don't forget about me, because I know you're gonna be doing great. I'm probably gonna need a job for you at times. Now, when you hear that constantly on a regular, and like recently I learned. Well, we talked about it in this group I was in of men, specifically husbands. We talked about how many thoughts go through your head per day, and it's over thousands, right? Now, think about it. And the thing is, with those thoughts, the same thought could reoccur more than once.
Mm-hmm.
So now, hearing all this at the same point, at your graduation party, getting celebrated at different events all over the town, or people know that you graduate, and they're all saying this to you for a matter of, let's say, days, couple of weeks before you leave, or even before you go off college. That's gonna sit with you.
Yeah.
That's gonna sit with you. So then you take that upon yourself, and then you're in school. Let's say you mess up with one class, and you be like, "Dang, I can't be messing up. I got people depending on me back home."
Talk about it.
It manipulates you. That's a manipulation. Instead of you focusing on, yes, I need to do better for myself and not have the weight of the world on your shoulders, because that sometimes is what makes people great test takers versus okay test takers. And that's another thing where people actually, Because there are people who know the information, but when they're under stress, under pressure, they don't perform.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
How do you know when it's manipulation or motivation?
So it took some time. When you get older, you'll realize, well, as you learn, I wouldn't say older. I say as you learn yourself, you'll realize when it is and when it's not. I've gotten to a point where it goes back to foundation, right? God is the number one piece for me. So I look at myself, or I try to look at myself how he sees me. And that's one of his children who he loves so much. So that man, if he has so much love for me, I gotta have as much love for myself. So that, and most people think love is just a word. It's an action word. And you gotta action the love on yourself. So that means you gotta believe in yourself. So you gotta take the necessary steps to study or train yourself or train your mind to know that you can do something, or you understand the limitations of yourself. A true understanding of yourself. That's how you can move from the point where you can realize, oh, that's a thought that someone threw in me and it's trying to manipulate my thought process, versus that's what I want to do for myself.
Okay. No argument. Okay. That was deep.
Yeah, I be having it sometimes.
Okay. All right. So what do you do with survivor's guilt, right? That's what people want to know.
Man.
This is gonna end the whole clinical side of things, because we'll get into Adonis and Damian in a second.
Yeah.
For real, seriously. In order to get through that, you have to. It's kind of like the 12-step program. You gotta acknowledge it first. You gotta acknowledge it. You can't sit there and play with it, man. You gotta acknowledge it, and it hurts when you acknowledge it. I'm here to tell you, as somebody that is still dealing with survivor's guilt, you gotta acknowledge it, and you gotta acknowledge that it's the people closest to you, and I think that's what hurts about it. People make their decisions. I'm about to say something real controversial. I'm gonna stand on it though. Humans make their own decisions, and a lot of times you'll battle with one side of people that'll go, well, their circumstances has them like that. It's not their fault. It's gonna hurt saying this. As somebody that has made it out of what I made it out of and given back, I have given back to the city multiple times. Not in the way I want to, but multiple times, right? I'm 100% at the point now where, because of social media, I call bullshit. Now I call BS. Before, in 2000, 2001, around that time, I agreed. I'm like, yeah, man, we in the hood, bro. We like, what we supposed to do? We making the best out of our situation. That's what we've been doing as black people forever, bro. Y'all gave us scraps. We made soul food. Don't get me started. I'm not going to do it today. But that's what we've been doing, right? I think that's what the neighborhood mentality was. You know what I mean? In the 60s, the 70s, 80s, not in the 90s, it became the hood. We just shortened it. You know what I mean? It's still a neighborhood, right? But I think that we got away from that, and we started just like becoming like a cesspool, and we wasn't being positive for each other. So I understand the environment of where the other folks go, well, you got to pick yourself up by the bootstraps. I'm like, it wasn't that easy for us. That's not something we was taught. You understand? We was taught you either got to go to the NBA or pick up a brick. You know what I mean? Like that's what we was taught. You got to play a sport, or and then as you get older, you was taught, oh, you can get a scholarship. But like the people that was taught that, I ain't gonna lie to you, no disrespect, was Mike, because Mike went to Tech. Tech was a better school. Like, you know what I mean? Like we didn't. Mike elevated. You know what I'm saying? So Mike could be considered an elevator in Patterson eyes, because they kind of look at him and they go, or you was destined. That's what he was talking about. It's like people would say, and I was there with Mike. People would say certain things like, "Oh yeah, Mike, we know, hey bro, when you go run that organization, bro, hey, make sure I get my cut, bro, because I knocked out such and such for you." And Mike can be like, "I asked you to do that." Like,
yo, it was so like that, though.
it really was like that, and you could see it even to today when Michael walk in a room and people be like, "Boy, I told you, bro, I told you was gonna do it," and I'll just be like. I just be sitting there laughing. I'm like, that's crazy, bro. On the flip side, though, this is, and again, I'm supposed to be telling you how to get through survivor's guilt. I'm getting there, I promise you. On the flip side, you have people like me where you just go quiet. We were growing up, you see Mike going through that, right? And they look at Just and they go, yeah, man, so what we getting into tonight? You see what I'm saying? Because there's no mindset of Just ain't going nowhere. He not leaving. We getting active. We doing this and this and this, right? So now you see Just today, and it's like, yo, Just, baby, what's up, dog? Damn, bro, you doing it, bro? Man, it's just crazy. It's like confusion. And I'll be like, huh? And that brings me to the solution. You can't do more for people than they want to do for themselves. And when they put you in a box, they put you in a box. You got to live for you. You got to do what you got to do. If you decide to give back, you decide to give back. That's up to you. But don't make it an obligation. You're not obligated. You know what I'm saying? That's something I really had to fight with because it was people that I feel, was really beneficial to who I am today. But what I'm really saying out loud for the first time ever is y'all were beneficial to the tyrant, to the demon I was today. And the human in me, not the spiritualist, because the spiritualist is like, get these people away from you, cut them off, right? The human in me, the pettiness in me, because I've been bred in that, is like, man, you got to go back to the hood and hit such and such with the deal because, this, and this. And he the one that gave you that hammer when you needed to. I'm not going to say they manipulated that situation, but I think that that's a negative aspect. That's a negative space. Because what we talking about? We talking about pride.
Yeah. Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So how do you get through that? You just gotta accept it. That's step one. Accept what you're hearing, accept what you're feeling within yourself. Look in the mirror. 2, understand nobody really owes anybody. We're gonna get into that right in this next one, right? But let me be very clear what I'm saying to you. If y'all didn't have a loan arrangement or an agreement, a contract, a binding arbitrary contract. See, you don't get into my school stuff now. if there's nothing signed, what are we talking about?
Facts.
So get that out of your head. Oh, I owe this person this. I owe this person that. I need to do this. And specifically for y'all with the family members, I'm going to say this and I'm going to get killed for it and I'm going to leave it alone. Okay. For those of y'all with mamas, daddies, cousins, auntie, brothers, and sisters, and you go, well, they helped get me to this point. They spent all this money to do these things, get me to this point to go to college, stuff like that. They did. It still don't mean you own.
Hey, before we move on, man, I'll give this point, and this is from my Christian side of things, biblical, come from the Bible. If it was meant for us to always go back and take care of our parents, God would have said it. His word says, honor your parents.
Right.
That is totally different than going back and taking care of them. Right?
People think honor means that though.
Yeah, but it doesn't necessarily mean that. And I tell you like this, most parents, and I think this is most parents would say they would want their kids to do what's best for them, bloom and blossom, have fun, don't worry about us. We took care of you for all these years. Why you think you need to take care of me? I can take care of myself.
I mean, that is When we talk
That's
about
it.
solutions, bro, that's one of them. It's overcoming survivor's guilt is overcoming thought process.
Yes.
Let's just keep it real. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? You're
Yep.
used to thinking a certain way. So in order to get through, get through survivor's guilt, you gotta unlearn some things, man. And
Change your perspective.
got to.
You got to see from a different angle, always.
You got to. And to me, the most important is one, acknowledging it, right? And two, understanding you don't really owe anybody. Three, the final thing, take a step back. If it's really, really going to bother you, come up with a plan. That's the part that destroys us. I'm telling you, anybody that's dealing with
Yeah.
survivor's guilt, you you're going through a constant cycle of, oh man, you feeling bad. It's because you don't have a plan. See, me, bro. Another reason why I got through the survivor's guilt is I have a foolproof plan. When somebody now in 2024 and moving beyond, right? When somebody asks me for money, now it's more so, all right, yeah, I may have you, but now I'm gonna make you do something for it. And it's not nothing like crazy. It's more so, hey, read this book. I'm gonna send this book. I'm gonna send the money to you in the book, but you got to read the book and figure out where the money is on what page. Now, I'm not gonna say that out loud, but I've actually done that to people. I'm not gonna name names, but there are people that I've sent books to, and there's money still to this day. It's in the book. They didn't read the book.
It's like that Kevin Hart story when his mom gave him the Bible. He ain't never look in the Bible.
I'm known, bro. I'm telling you, I'm known for giving gifts, and there's gifts within the gift. That's how I deal with my survivor's guilt. Because I feel like I'm doing my part. I'm giving you something that's gonna help you elevate. What you do with it now it's on you.
Yeah.
Now it's on you. I can't feel guilty for you not wanting it. I can't want it more than you.
Ooh. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Come on, man. Talk to me.
I don't even think we need to answer this next question. That next question, I don't think we need.
What's that?
If you ever truly healed from survivor's guilt, because I think we've answered that.
Healed or heal?
Heal.
I'm gonna say no.
Really?
I'm gonna say no. I'm the healing concept keeps getting thrown around now because it's been hyper sexualized, I guess.
Yeah.
I think it's sexy now to use narcissists, healing, and all the buzzwords.
Yeah. Buzzwords.
I'm gonna be real with you, man. Healing is a lifelong journey.
It's a process. Yep.
Yeah. So, do you ever fully heal from survival?
I didn't say fully. I said truly.
Are they not the same?
No, that's the same. Yeah.
My answer is no. It's always there. It's kind of like a scar. You know what I mean? It's just, you look at it, it reminds you.
So I think the answer is yes, because when it comes, and this is how I process healing, right? Healing is never truly getting rid of that feeling. It's learning how to control it. Because it's more so, I think it's a self-control thing. Knowing that can put you in a tailspin of thoughts, decisions, actions. And if you have the self-control to control it, you're healed from it, but it doesn't always leave you. It's a constant reminder, but you always have to have that self-control. So that's why I say yes.
Okay. I ain't mad at that. Yeah. All right. We'll have to dive into that in another episode. No problem.
Yeah. So now we are at the part of the episode where we're actually going to bring in the movie. And just to let you guys know, yes, we do not have a script or notes about movie. We doing it straight off the brain. So if we get a scene incorrect or wrong, y'all can let us know in the chat if you want. But honestly, we don't care. We're just gonna go off our head anyway.
So let me
also, I'm gonna say this too. Also, if you haven't seen Creed 3, I say you pause, go watch it, then come back.
Right. and and let's say welcome to the people that skipped through that first part, went to YouTube and was like, man, when they talking about Creed 3, and they're coming here now. So what's up? What's good with it? Yes, we about to get into it. So let's get it.
Yes, sir. So we're gonna explain the movie in a nutshell quickly and then walk through pieces. Brother, jump in whenever you feel like it. So Creed 3 goes back to what we believe what survivor guilt is. And at this point in time, Adonis, Creed, is about to experience his own episode with survivor's guilt. In this movie, in the third installment, we see the end of his career. He basically retires. And he's starting to make the steps on the next part of the career and becoming a promoter and everything. And in this process, a childhood friend comes back in the picture, Damian. In the movie, it shows you a little glimpse of what happened. It wasn't Adonis who was the boxer at first. It was Damian. Adonis was his right-hand man, always with him, carrying his bag, make sure all that stuff was good. And they got into a little situation. So now, throughout the movie, it's explained Damian went to jail because it was over a fight, but he also had possession of a gun.
No, I don't like the way you explaining that part right there.
Look, we going in depth. I got to give a quick synopsis of the movie.
Yeah, but I feel like you're leaving out the most important piece of
All
this.
right, go ahead.
So you're right with everything, right? That's his right-hand man. Damian only got in trouble because of Adonis.
I think I will disagree with you on that statement. That's why I described it the way I did.
Wow. I see what this about to be.
Yeah, that's why I disagree with that statement right there.
So what you gonna say? All right, go ahead now. Say less.
No, we were gonna say. I'm telling you, I'm just trying to do the synopsis of the movie. So now Damian has been watching Adonis his whole career and seeing how he rised up, and in Damian's head, he's thinking that should have been me the entire time. Comes out, he makes a plan to actually get what he believes he deserves, and uses Creed as a springboard for his career. And basically, just to cut it a little bit short, we'll dive into a little bit more of the scenes because I don't think we're going to talk about every specific thing. But basically, in short, he end up asking Creed to fight, and Creed comes out of retirement to fight him. We all know what happened. Creed wins at the end. But that's the simple version of how the movie explained. While we go through our questions, we'll talk about the scenes. So
first scene, why do you feel like that wasn't Adonis' fault? Other than what I know you about to go, which is, he should have controlled his anger.
No,
where you going?
That is not why.
Where you going with it?
That is not why. All right.
Tell me what the man did wrong.
Who?
Damian? Yeah.
First thing first, he had a gun as a black man in America. Nope. Hear me out. Because I'm trying to remember if he was underage or not, and I think he was underage.
They were underage and they were foster kids, bro.
All right, so but no, that right there already shows you. Yeah, we in the hood. Look, you know me. You know me. We know we grow in the same hood. I know people, they think they don't have a choice, but you always have a choice.
Mike, that was me, bro.
I know that was you.
That was literally me.
Look, yeah, I know, bro. I don't care. It's still a choice. Look.
Wow.
Think about it like this. I had a choice to walk with you, even though I know the stuff. I had a choice to walk with our friends. That's my choice. Right. So anything that goes down, that's on me.
Okay.
Adonis and Damian had a choice.
Right.
They were friends. They were always together. Cool. Adonis had a choice to punch the man or not. He could have left that situation alone, went in the store, and went about his business.
Right.
But he did.
Right.
He punched Leon.
Right.
Not saying he didn't start it, but it's not his fault that Damian went to jail. No.
All right. So if no gun was present and Damian still went to jail, we still having the same conversation?
The thing is, so here's the thing, right? He don't have the gun. I don't think Damian gets locked up. They get taken, but they don't get locked up.
Who is they?
Really?
Who is they? Adonis ran.
That's true. He
He
did run.
did the dash. What are we talking about?
He did the dash, but at the same time, though, he did run. I forgot about that for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did run. No, he did run. I ain't going front. He did run. But even still, like, he doesn't run. But even still, the cops really stopped him more so because the gun was pulled. Think about it. Think about it like this. If it was just like a normal fight and you ain't have no weapons or anything, what they gonna do? Hear me out? Dude ain't died, did he?
Damian would have half killed him because it was over Adonis.
Yeah, Damian would have killed them. But at the same time, though, 2 against 1. How many drunk dudes we actually gonna fight like that on a regular and not be okay? Because we've seen it. We've seen it.
It's a little different when you get somebody that's passionate about another human being the way Damian was about Adonis. That was his little brother to him, bro. And when it went to that level, right? I'm saying if he don't have the gun, when it went to that level, I can fully see him knocking the dude out and just continue punching. He would have went to jail anyway, bro. I saw the way that they. Let me give a shout out to the people that did the filmography on that, or the cinema on that, right?
Cinematography. Yep.
Cinematography. There you go. The beauty of the shots, even from the fight and everything, that was beautiful.
Chef kiss.
Right. But the way that they caught his eyes, the young Damian's eyes, I was like, said he'll kill for you, bro. And come on, man. Before it went down, when they was doing the little fight, I said, bro, Damian will kill for Adonis, bro.
But that's still a decision, right or wrong.
That's love, bro.
It's love, but it's still a decision.
I will lay my life down for you. Yes, absolutely, yes.
It's your decision, so that's why I say you can't blame Adonis. You can blame Adonis for starting the situation, but you can't blame Adonis for the decisions you made in the situation.
So we would consider Damian HAN. I ain't gonna say the what that mean, but you know what I mean, right? If he didn't do anything, because we would be looking at him side-eyed. Oh, you fake. You ain't the homie. You ain't really about it. You ain't really holding me down.
But here's the crazy thing. That's one way of thinking about it. And like you said, and like I've said, you grow over time, so you may have a different way of thinking about it later. Like in the moment, I can tell you right now, I put money. In our group of friends or people we grew up with, people have looked at me crazy about certain decisions I decided to do because I did not believe it was right. And those same individuals now be like, yo, Mike, you were right. I should have followed your lead. It always happens.
Okay. I'm here. I hear you.
So, are you Adonis or Damian?
Neither. I'm Lil Duke. Coach.
Explain.
So Adonis's coach clearly had a checkered past, a background, and he was just striving to do the right thing for his fighter at all times. And he had so much wisdom, and he told him, look, you don't owe him nothing. That's me. That is who I am today. Today, if I really got to pick who I am from that movie, that's the person I resonated with the most. Don't get me wrong. Watching Damian lose his absolute mind was classic Gemini. He was giving me Gemini vibes. I'm not gonna lie. Anybody that
There you go.
Damian was a Gemini. I don't care what nobody said. He was doing the absolute. That is Gemini tactics. What he did. Okay. Coach Duke though, because he was wise, and he also lost his temper. You know what I'm saying? It was just the passion was there, the love was there. He was trying to tell his child for us, his son, really, yo, we ain't got to do this. And he even got into it with Damian. To me, that's I fall more there. I can't be Adonis because if I'm being real with you, from from Creed 1 to 3, I've never resonated with him. I just like watching the movie, but I don't. You know how you resonate with a character like Terminator or something like that? You can resonate with what's happening. I've never watched Creed and go, man, yeah. He's not me. He reminds me more of Mike. I'm like, he's not. That's not. He's not me. That's more of my brother. I'm like, okay, my bro go through stuff like that, like real talk. Like that's a Mike response. I do that. By the way, I do that with movies. I do that.
I know you do. I know you do.
Like, shout out to Big Jaw and Minx. 100%. I do that all the time. I'd be like, Minx, I was like, that's something Mike would do. 100%. And the skits that they do, I'd be like, Mink and Mike's are the same person. That's something he would do. That's a sidebar, but that's here nor there. But Coach Duke, bro, that's my answer. What about you?
I love how you just jump ahead before I even get to say it, bruh. Like, yeah, not everything to a T, but yes, I relate more to Adonis. Everyone knows this. Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing. Adonis, he got his head on right. He struggled with his own survivor guilt. He had survivor's guilt in 1 and 2, because his dad, you know what I mean? Like,
no, he still really had it in 3. Everything came back up.
Yeah, the mom situation was wild. The people didn't pay attention to that one. That was crazy, but
So I want to talk about that too, yo, because like rewatching it again a little bit, that was one of the scenes I was like, hey, I'm protecting you from something that you don't need right now. You may not understand why, but this is why.
Yeah, but it harmed him, man.
In the end, yeah.
That was whew.
But, I also thought about that too, because like rewatching that scene, I'm like, the first thing you thought of is because he already did you wrong because he knocked out your number one guy. Is that you took the picture because you realized he'd been playing you. Right? And I've been having conversations too lately too about mental health. And it's like, we always try to label women as emotional. Right? Mm-hmm. But I don't think people understand where that comes from. I think they mix it up. So when it comes to talking about women being emotional, and this is my opinion, it's how they process the information in their head. They process it with a little bit more emotion. While in men's head, we process it with a little bit more logic. But that doesn't mean we're not emotional. Because people try to say an angry man or the anger, how they use it, punch a wall, throwing chairs, throwing stuff, or just saying anything that comes to their mind. They try to not label that as emotional, but that is emotional. People try to say, oh no, he's all right, he's cool, he's just bones. Nah, that's emotions. He was emotional in the moment. Instead of thinking clearly. Because in my opinion, with everything going on, I would have thought about it differently. I would have probably sat on it and had a meeting. Then confronted him one-on-one with the man, be like, so I see that you've been playing me. Why? And then they proceed to explain, I didn't have your letters. Your letters were kept from me. I literally just got them the other night. And that could have changed a whole bunch of other situations and decisions. But of course, we know it's a movie, so they had to hype it up.
That's real.
So, yeah.
I'm rocking.
Since you added Lil Drew, I'm gonna say, are these the main archetypes of black men? And before you answer that, I'm gonna give a very generic definition of archetypes. Archetypes is a typical example of a certain person or thing. In other words, stereotypes sometimes. My brother.
So before 2001, I would say absolutely. After 2001, I don't know what a black man is anymore. And I'm not saying that with pride. I'm saying that with confusion. You know, we'll get into the cancel culture and all that other BS. I'm not saying we have to be a monolith, right? But sometimes I talk to these brothers and I can't recognize us. I can't recognize the soul, the black soul in you. I can't recognize the black spirit in you because I'm talking to you and I feel like I'm talking to somebody else. It don't feel like a brother. It don't like I don't know. You used to walk into a room with black men, right? As a black man, and you would do a head nod, and they all would look at you, and you would do a head nod, and spiritually, you could feel like, all right, we good. That was breaking the ice. I don't have to know you. You nodded back. We good.
Mm-hmm.
Now I walk in the room, I do a head nod. You might head nod, and you still might try to rob me. That's confusing. That is confusing.
I see where you're going with that.
Confusing.
That's a whole nother topic right there, bro.
I'm answering the question though.
Yeah.
Are these the archetypes of black men? They used to be. It used to be that it was either the super aggressive black man. You had the kid that was in the middle, kind of suburbanish, but he wasn't raised in the suburbs. You got the suburban black man. You got the gay black man. You got the closeted black man. You got the gangbanger black man. Like those were we had stereotypes, right? The super educated black. We had those. I felt like that's what this was. This was Damian was the kid that could have been, but got caught up. You know, we got that. You got the kid that wasn't thought about, and then became because, according to the movie, because the other kid put him on game. Right? And then you got Coach Duke, who I think, and this is just me, bro. I think they need to do a Coach Duke movie about his past. It'll be dope. I promise you. Because I think he was cold when he was younger, bro. Do a Coach Duke movie, and it'll show you what I see in Coach Duke. He was probably worse than Damian and Adonis together to get him to that point of wisdom. Because that wisdom that he had in that movie, that was from experience. That was from straight experience.
I have a thing about that now.
Talk to me.
So I don't think people always learn from experience. I think you can. I'm not saying that you can't, but I feel as though it's a healthy balance. Because you know that saying, people, how the saying go? I'm trying to remember. The best teacher's experience. False statement. Because why do I need to experience something that you already went through and I've seen the bad and the good? Why do I have to go through it to experience it myself?
But it's still experience. It's secondhand.
Well, secondhand experience, but yeah, secondhand experience, yeah. But I'm just gonna. I don't want to throw that piece out there. Nah.
Oh yeah.
Nah, but no. I get you. All right. So, do you ever really owe anyone?
I'm on record. I'm saying no. I'm standing on that. No, because and ultimately the answer to that question is because that individual, like you said, I'm gonna use your words against you. That was a decision. That was a choice. When people hit my phone and be like, "Yo, Just, you think you could?" and they don't even ask me how I'm doing, it's my choice to engage in a beautiful conversation or hang up on you. That's how I used to be. I'm known on the flip phone, bro. Remember I had that old black phone?
Click.
Telling you, y'all have healed so much. But No. You don't owe anybody in the world anything. These are people making decisions and choices. It would be nice for you to reciprocate the energy that if somebody's being real with you and being honest with you. Absolutely, I think that puts you in a different category. But can you be a super selfish person in the world and never be selfless after being selfish? Absolutely, do your thing. But I'm gonna look at you weird.
Mm.
That's who you are, though. Live your life. Be true to who you are. Cool. I know how to deal with you now, though. But to say that Mike owes me for anything that elevates in his life because I might have give him a nugget or I might have gave him $500 to do this or you know what I mean, like anything like that. Like that's to me, I'm just like, bro. Why we counting pockets? Two, what did you give him the money for? You gave him the money to gloat and hang it over his head, like you know what I mean? Like what did
What are
It's
your intentions?
about intentions, right? Right. What are your intentions?
Mm-hmm.
Do you love the individual, or are you using the individual for long game reference? And that'd be my problem with a lot of people that I know, because I feel like now I'm looking at people and I'm like, y'all don't really love me in the instance that I think that y'all love me. It's more so,
What I can get from you.
yeah, yeah. You see a glow up and you want to get some of that.
That's why I loved when I heard that story that Tracy McGrady did. When he made it big, he gave all the people he believed that was close to him $1,000, or I think that was the amount. And he told them, "Don't come back and ask for more."
Mm,
That was his gift to them,
mm,
and he kept it pushing. And I wish a lot of our athletes understand that you ain't got to go back and say the whole hood just because you made it. Sometimes if you save one other person, that's enough. And that's not even saying that you have to do that, because you can do that in many different ways.
yeah. Which
But
there's another part of this we don't talk about, and I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but it's a very dark part. A lot of these brothers do get extorted though too,
oh yeah,
because the person we not talking about, a black stereotype in the hood, is the person that wasn't really about that. They were chill, you know what I mean? That for real, I used to be the nerd and all that other stuff. We know this is well on established, but
mm-hmm.
like, had I not turned my corner and started fending for myself, I could have very well been that person, bro. Like, because if you look at today and go, okay, look where justice is at, I can very much so see somebody tapping my phone, and be like, hey, yo, we used to protect you in the hood, bro. You need to pay them ends, bro. We see you doing good over there. You need to throw a kickback this way.
Mm-hmm.
100%, bro. But they're not able to do that because I got to a point where I was defending myself. You feel me? But what about
Yeah,
the kid that don't defend themselves
true.
and they got protected by big homies or whatever, this guy, that guy, and then now you make it out, yeah, they're gonna call you. We entitled to such and such, boom, boom, boom. I ain't gonna say no
Mm-hmm.
names, but there's an individual that is from our town that blew up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
I already know what you talking about, bro. I already know.
So
So we'll get to end now. The ending of the movie. How do we deal with the survivor guilt head on? In the movie, this was actually fought head on in a match, boxing ring,
it was beautiful.
which was a perfect cinematic piece on showing how to fight on survivor's guilt. Because like the way they shot it, where it was everyone was there and then no one was there, and then you see your opponent, but it's just you focusing on what you need to do, and it's like, yo, that that was like a perfect piece on like understanding survivor's guilt. Like, forget what everyone else and the person that you're dealing with think. You have to focus on yourself. Perfect way. Perfect way to end the movie. Perfect way to end the movie. And the other thing is, most people would try to say, "Oh, that's cheap and whatnot." Adonis going to him in the end and having that conversation really put that movie in another level and light for me, because like we don't. I'm not gonna say we will never see it. I'm going to say that's the part that we don't try to focus on. We focus on the part of just tackling it head on. But what do you do after?
That's facts. That's facts. You couldn't better said that better myself, man. The only thing I can add is that not only was he fighting, were they fighting themselves and they was focused on what they were doing themselves, they was dealing with the man in front of them. So, yes, deal with yourself, but when you get to that point of survivor's guilt, you got to start dealing with the people in front of you because they're used to something else. So they're going to continue to treat you as you're something else or something old. It's a new you. I got another controversial take.
Okay.
I do what you as y'all please, okay? I'm strictly only referring to the Bible. They say that Yeshua HaMashiach, who we call modern day Jesus, still Christ, okay, died, went down, and rose after 3 days, right? And it also says that he came and he's supposed to absolve us of our sins. Correct? Is this correct?
Correct, my brother.
Okay. So my philosophy has been for a good while, every time you go to sleep, you need to look at it as you dying. When you wake up in the morning, that is you being reborn. That means you get another opportunity to do what it is that God has put you here to do. And that's cute, right? Because a lot of people say that, but this is the part that's going to be controversial. Man, Mike, I'm on record, bro. If somebody say something to me on a Tuesday about something I did on Sunday, and I don't resonate with justice from Sunday anymore, I'm going to look you dead in your eyes and be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just as a Tuesday. Sunday was 2 days ago. Every day you go to sleep and you wake up, you get another chance to be a new version of Mike, a new version of Justice, a new version of whatever your name is. You get to be a new version. Be that new version. People going to be like, yo, you switched up. You being fake. Oh, somebody brand new. You're right.
You being better than the day before.
Exactly. I'm living in a better purpose today, bro. Bro, when I changed my mindset and I started doing that, bro, survivor's guilt got easier. My marriage got easier. A lot of my life got easier. My work issues got easier, bro. Like a lot of stuff, bro. Because, like, bro, I can't change what happened yesterday, bro. I'm going to be this new person today. My brakes went out on my car. That was yesterday. Today, do my brakes work? Oh, no. What happened? I got amnesia, man. What happened? I don't know. But I'm going to fix it. So I can fix it today instead of having that aggravation yesterday. You feel me? Like, it's just, we stressing ourselves too much, man. You feel me? And that movie, I'm not gonna lie, in the beginning I gave it a 7 out of 10. I still think it's a 7.5. Totality of it. It was too close to Black Panther 2 for me, but that's here nor there. That's just me. I'll be on my own. You know what I mean? But it was still a great movie. They had a great message. And I think that for people that are watching it, going into it for entertainment, cool, watch it the first time. But the second time, really pay attention to what they saying to you, man. Ryan really put some gems in there for y'all, man. He really did.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about these other undertones and the other storylines with the daughter. With Creed, with the relationship between Creed and his wife. Like, there's a lot of other stuff we could have talked about, but we ain't got the time to focus on all that.
He went into his number one fighter. His number one fighter is why I said it's too close to Black Panther 2 for me. I'm gonna leave that where it's at, but
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
Understood.
a lot of, but
understood. But yeah. Anything else, brother?
If you're going through survivor's guilt, you're not alone. It's not the end of the world. Take a step back, acknowledge it. Again, you don't owe anybody. It's nice to give back if you feel like these people were significant in your life. Absolutely. But do not harm yourself striving to get to a goal for you and somebody else. You can't achieve your goal and somebody else's goal at the same time. I'm sorry, bro.
Facts.
Focus on what you're doing. And if you want to give back, give back.
And with that, folks, we see y'all next week. Peace.
What up, listeners? Mike B here.
Hope you enjoyed the episode. You can find us on IG at BMM_podcast. On TikTok at BMM Podcast. Facebook, just type in the Black Man Misunderstood Podcast. And then you can find the Neighborhood Therapist at the Neighborhood Therapist on IG. And you can find myself at MikeB_BMM on IG. And if you want to connect with our producer, the DJ himself, Mr. DJ Daxter, check him out at DJ Daxter on IG. Alright, folks. See y'all next week.